Hello everybody, I'm here to do the soulmate reading for the week. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty sensitive but very thought-provoking week. Keep in mind this is very general, so take only what resonates because this fits for the whole collective soulmate relationships, okay? So not every soulmate relationship is going to have a heavy heart this week. Some of you may be going through the end of heartbreak, or you may be going through the end of frustration. Three of Swords is also a heavy, conflicted mind thing, energy too, and that is for the union energy. So Three of Swords is not just for heartbreak. It could also be hard, heavy, conflicted truths that come to light. It could also be that there's some painful words that may come up, or it doesn't necessarily always mean that you're going through a breakup, or you're finding out that somebody's cheating on you, or you're finding out that there's somebody who doesn't want to be with you. It's not always, a Three of Swords is not always that. Every reader has their own different intuitive thoughts, but really, to be honest, the Three of Swords has to do with heavy truths, not just pain. There could be painful memories that come up from this being the union energy. This could be heavy truths coming to light. It could also be some heavy memories, heavy flashbacks. Mercury is leaving its post shadow on Wednesday, so Mercury is going to go goodbye and go back to its home planet. So with that, we are going to feel some possible shakeups. Shakeups does not mean breakups. It just means a shakeup in the system. And on Friday, we have a new moon in Cancer, which is an emotional sign anyway. Cancer being a water sign, there might be some feelings with heart or emotion or mental, or I'm hearing the word capacitated. So there could be something that is happening with your relationship that is thought-provoking, or working through the end of a situation that needs to be prevailed. Love will prevail. Love will conquer all is what I'm feeling with this energy this week. So keep in mind, you might have a few shakeups this week, especially with the union energy being the page, being the Three of Swords. For new and existed relationships with the Page of Swords, there is a lot of thoughts that are working together. This is you and your partner actually contemplating on what the next steps should be. So you might find that today starts out the week with some serious issues that come up, but for you to think about. Not necessarily for you to go, okay, I can't deal with this crap anymore. That's not what I'm feeling. Although Page of Swords is stepping into the right path to think about the situations a little bit more. It's using your intelligence. It's listening to your intuition. With the way this page is looking to the side while she has the sword in the air, she's got both her hands on the swords too. So she's definitely thinking that there's something going on. The page could be a female or it could be a male. I always pick up pages to be female. Be that as it may, could be a masculine. He, she, you both are dealing with situations where there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to sort out. This could be certain situations where it's dealing with details, as in what steps to take at the next level. There are going to be some shifts, especially with the new moon and the full energy of Mercury being home. There's going to be I'm feeling like from Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Friday are going to be the two strongest days this week because of those situations. The new moon is going to be testy because it's an emotional very highly regarded empath. There's a lot of emotions that are going on with this new moon, especially as phases are starting to come back to some form of normalcy. I feel like a lot of shadows have been lifted. And on Wednesday is when Mercury is going back. So I'm feeling like today through Tuesday, there's going to be some steps that are going to finally come together and to make sense for you and your new partner. I feel like even though you're in a new relationship, you're still working together and looking for that commitment. So that's in the details. That's in the deets, okay? You can't expect things to be pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. I feel new, but you guys, some of you feel like you've been together for at least 6 months, while others of you have either just recently met and are talking, or you've been together for 3 to 4 months. It's new. Some of the new relationships are established, but you're still waiting for something to intervene and work through whatever issues you've been trying to focus on. And I really want you to stay away from forcing the situation, because the Page of Swords has a tendency to overthink. She also has a tendency to think she knows everything, and then everything goes kaput. The details are between you and your partner, and they're going to work themselves out. But I'm hearing the shadow of a doubt. So you have to put your heads together and work together before you can clear the next steps to take. Some of you may have trouble on the horizon, which could be the Three of Swords. Others of you feel like you want to take the steps into the next path, and it's getting there. There's that shake-up energy that I told you I feel. That could be something for some of you that are finally seeing the truth of the matter, and you're ready to go forward. And whatever you guys choose to do, you and your partner, will be what you choose to do. But I do feel there's going to be some slight tendency to try to push and control. You don't want to do that, because you want things to take shape naturally. For those of you in existed relationships, this Page of Swords feels really good, feels solid. You have your heads together, you have your energies wrapped around what you want to take with you to the next step. I feel like there's a lot more compatibility. There's a lot less questions regarding with what to do with your next phase. Cycles are ending, even though the union energy is a Three of Swords. But I'm feeling like with the Page of Swords, you're really focused on how to really achieve your goals. I feel your goals are coming together deeper, and I feel that pattern of old heaviness from last year, they feel like they're fading away. So there's a new, stronger path, but you both have to work together. You both have to paint the picture of what you truly want. Because you've been together for a long time, you're existed, so you know each other very well. I feel like you both know how to take the next step, so you don't really need a lot of guidance from other people. But I do feel like you might want to just look into the picture and figure out what needs to be worked on and how to take those steps together. I feel a lot of you in existed relationships will know more towards the end of this week as the new moon is coming in. I feel like those of you in existed relationships will know exactly, you'll know more about where you're going and what you need to do. Because I'm hearing my higher self showing me, and I'm hearing that there's more instincts and more intuitive insights showing you exactly what to do, and you know what to do. So you don't really need you have questions that you and your partner can answer without having any kind of problems at all. So it's painting a picture of what you desire and taking it and running with it. That's what this is all about with the Page of Swords, with those of you in existed relationships. I still feel some of you may be going through a separation and there's some kind of chemistry that's starting to come back. But for those of you who are separated and things are starting to come back, that with this Three of Swords being with the Page of Swords, the union energy with the relationship energies, there is some painful things that are coming back. There are some painful events that you're working on and releasing. So there might be a lot of rainstorms that come together for you and your partner this week. But I also feel that this is just like a headliner, just kind of showing you that you have to let go and you have to trust the process, because things are going to start making sense as soon as you start working with your partner. Now, for those of you who are in new relationships, this Three of Swords is going to show you what it is that you need to focus on. I feel like there's pain from either not being with your partner for a while or not being able to really attract that connection. It's coming back, but it feels like it's like a seesaw. It's like up and down, and it also feels like it's back and forth, back and forth. But this seesaw and this back and forth has to be something that is released until you can truly move forward and trust what's going on. But your partner is trustworthy. I feel like there's like a heart situation, the heart of the matter, but there's a peaceful resolution with it. And no, I'm not feeling breakup. I'm feeling more like this is a transition that you and your new partner are going through, so that way you can step into the right path. I also feel the three issues that you've had a problem with because of Three Swords. It could be emotional, physical, mental. It could also be feelings of doubt. There could also be jealous and resentment there. These swords are sorting out the problem, and when you take the swords out, your heart is going to start healing itself. You and your partner are going to be able to resolve these issues. But if you're asking if things are going to start healing themselves like really quickly, this is a definite no. Because things have to be revealed, things have to be sorted out, things have to be worked through. And the swords cards usually are not really that quick unless it's an ace. If it's an ace of swords, it's happening pretty quickly. Three of Swords, it takes a while for things to start to reveal themselves and become stronger. As far as existed relationships, I'm feeling that the Three of Swords is a combination of destiny, of fated timing, and that connection of how you and your partner work things through. I do also feel that this Three of Swords is going to show you how much you truly love your partner. I do feel heartbreak for some of you. For some of you, there are still so many things that still have yet to be healed. But I'm also feeling like a heavy heart, almost like even though after you've sorted things out, there's still some emotions there that are going to heal themselves. They are in healing. So if you feel any kind of pain in your heart this week, even though things are in a better place, those are just emotional wounds that are still sorting themselves out. And even though there's good communication, you're really having a great conversation with your partner, and it feels painful, it's because it's resolved. You've talked about things that you needed to talk about. You've shown your partner how much you truly feel and how much they truly feel about you. but it still has to resolve it. Talking about it is great, but it's going to take time for things to settle. Your hearts are on the mend. Your hearts feel secure. But there's still some things that are still going to need to be healed even after the conversations have led you to a more positive shift. There's more harmony coming in. There's more happiness coming in. But it's going to take a little bit of time before the pain starts to sort itself out. And again, for those of you who may be in a separation, you and your partner need to really sit down and focus on what it is that made you guys separate. Because I'm feeling in my third eye that some of you have questions that you're still doubting, but you can't resolve it in a day. Your angels and your spirit guides want you to know that it's not going to be resolved in one day, and it's something that it's going to be counterintuitive. You have to constantly talk about it, constantly work through it, constantly use these painful feelings as a way to tie things up and break things up, because there's going to be some iffy moments this week for some of you in separation, but there's also going to be some strong conduit type of feeling that's going to bring some happiness back into your partnership. But don't expect it to be healed in one day. It's just going to take time before things are fully resolved. But there's a good feeling with this, especially with the Empress being behind the scenes of this situation. The Empress is bringing, and these are both back-to-back threes. So there's definitely some protection coming in. And there's a swan, which is about partnership. There's more chemistry coming in here too. So it's a good feeling in a bird right here, bringing a lot of signs that everything is well. And a shield here to protect all the things that are going on. So there is, if you have any doubts in your mind where you're at, your partnership is coming back in. It's rebirthing itself. It's recreating itself. It's also bringing in a lot more harmony. In females, this Empress is also showing that even though you're going through what you're going through with your partner, you need to work on your femininity just a little tiny bit more. You need to heal that situation that's in your heart. I don't feel this as a mother issue. I feel this as an inner child issue. Whatever pain you've been going through with your relationship issues, it's triggered like moments in your childhood or moments in your early 20s when you had problems with relationships. But there is healing because this Empress is a very strong, positive female, and she is connected to the Queen of Cups. So you need to listen to your intuition. You need to listen to your heart. You need to focus on the positive, because the Empress is a positive energy. And this is a major arcana, which means there's a lot more there's a lot more energy with this. There's a lot more connection to moving forward. You can trust this process because the Empress always, when you ask an Empress for any kind of guidance, she's right there to hand it to you. So you're being led to trust this issue will be resolved. You're being led to really listen to your inner femininity. It's going to lift your spirits. It's going to take away from the issues that you've been going through. And I do feel that this has to do with working with your partner and nurturing. Empresses are nurturing because they're connected with the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is also a water sign. And we're dealing with a water sign new moon. We're also dealing with the Gemini moving away from the Mercury retrograde and headed back to the planet. So the post shadow is going to be showing you a lot of things that were triggered in the last few months, in the last few weeks, from May to now. The last few months there have been issues with you and your partner. Well, now that Mercury is going back to its planet, you'll start to feel more release. And with that release, you're going to feel some of those triggers emotionally charged, emotionally heightened. But the emotions are going to be released, especially with the new moon in Cancer. The new moon in Cancer is going to bring up nurtured emotions, heightened intuition, and there's a lot of guidance that's going to be, it feels resilient to me. So trust the process and believe in the process and focus on allowing for new beginnings to take them, the energy, and focus on the new, because the new feels really good and solid, okay? And with the energy of the 10 of Pentacles being in opposition, the opposition is going to enlighten the 3 of Swords and gain access from the Empress. So there is going to be some connections. There is a lot of connections here with these 10 of Pentacles that are going to be guiding you into stronger avenues. There's more connection. There's more desire to want to be with each other, and actually more abundance of time and more connections of feeding off of you and your partner. So there will be extra channels of new. And 10 is the number of new beginnings, because 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, new beginnings. 10 is also the number of completion. So there are completions that are coming in, even though you feel like this Page of Swords and this 3 of Swords, they're aggravating your energies. But this 10 of Pentacles being the opposition, it's opposing the issues that you're going through. Okay, so it feels like it's going to be heavy with your union energies, but this 10 of Pentacles is going to bring completion and release of obstacles. The foundation is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a crow, of course, and crows are very vibrant, they're very smart, they're intelligent birds. They're very heightened with intuition. So your intuition is going to be showing you a lot. Between the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Page of Swords, these 3 right here, these 3 cards here, the Page of Swords, Empress, the Hierophant, these are strong, intuitive insights, especially the Hierophant being a spiritual unity, a spiritual connection. So your wisdom, you're getting guided from your spirit guides and your angels, and there's protection there. So it's phasing out the old and bringing in the new, just in time for Mercury to go back to its planet and the new moon to come in on Friday. So this week will be triggering some access to what has been harvesting and trying to work its way out, harboring all the issues that have been confronting and triggered for the last few months. And there are some of you that may be going through bitterness, but I feel like that is ending. And the outcome for this week is received with love and appreciation. When you let go of the frustration and you work with your partner and you talk to your partner, whether you're in separation or you're newly in a relationship or you're with an existed relationship, when you let go of the struggle and you allow for the new energies to reappear, and there's self-examination in this as well, because of the Empress being a feminine, looking into a situation and cleansing that energy, and also, like I said, inner child. There's a lot of inner child work here, but you need to focus on allowing with appreciation. Be grateful for the relationship you're in, even if it feels like it's not where you want it to be. Just know that it's coming together. These cards are showing in a positive light that everything is starting to come back to feeling more empathetic with your relationships. There's a lot of heaviness that's starting to release itself, and there's going to be more happiness, more harmony coming in, okay? So these are the energies of the week for soulmates. And this, of course, like I said, is very general. But I do private readings for soulmates. So you need more insights and you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram. For those of you who do follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you know that you can DM me, okay, to book your private reading. And I'll look into whatever is going on with your energies together, what's going on behind the scenes with your union energies and your energies, what your focus needs to be about. For those of you who don't follow me on Facebook and you only follow me on YouTube, you can message me. My email address is angelswhisper1122@gmail.com. And for those of you who are new to my YouTube page, go ahead and press the subscribe button. Then right next to it is the bell. Hit that and you get instant access into my video readings right after I upload them, okay? So have a wonderful weekend. Share and like my readings so that way it shows that you support everything that I do and I give freely with all the insights that I have. It shows appreciation. Have a wonderful week and namaste.